So, hi everyone. Thanks for giving your valuable time from your busy schedule. We at Altport Experts, we are thrilled to announce our brand new show, which is Ask the Expert Show. Through webinars, we aim to share insights into diverse asset classes, forecasting knowledge amongst our investor community. So, my name is Devanshu Bindish. I am the Vice President of Altport Experts. With me, I have speaker Mr. Mohit Nigam, fund manager and head at Hem Wealth Managers. Let me take a moment and introduce Mr. Mohit Nigamji. So Mohit is fund manager and head at Hem Wealth Managers. Mohit ji is a seasoned professional with a strong academic credential. He is a chartered accountant and a company secretary, and he holds an MBA degree from IIFT Delhi. His previous spent for 4 years at Axis Bank in the Treasury Asset Liability team, where he was involved into managing the bank balance sheet and capital across asset classes, contributing to the management of Treasury book of over 1 lakh crore. So, welcome Mohit ji. How are you?
Hi, Devanshu. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, Mohiji. So our investor community has joined, and they are looking forward to understand from you that how HAME is structured and
Hmm.
what kind of AIF HAME brings on the table for our investors. Over to you, Mohiji.
Absolutely. So, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for your valuable time with us. So, I'll give you a basic introduction about Hem Securities, and then we'll move forward towards AIF and what we are looking to do through this AIF. What is our agenda? So, talking about Hem Securities, it's more than 4 decade-old firm. It started off as a partnership firm initially, then we made a company, and in the beginning, the main business was of broking, and that is where we had the space in the 90s, especially, and became a vibrant name, especially in North India. Uh, a decade back, in 2013, 2014, we launched a merchant banking division. And in the merchant banking division, we are number one as far as the SME IPOs in India are concerned. Then in 2019, we established a wealth division in which we launched portfolio management services. So we have got a couple of PMS services in multi-cap space and in microcaps and SMEs. So these are the two strategies in which we manage HNI, Ultra HNI fund in the listed space. Our CAGRs in both the strategies are more than 20% since last 6 years and 4 years of their inceptions, respectively. Coming to the AIF, so we are coming up with an AIF. We have rather launched it and we are raising funds for it now. And the timing couldn't have been better, I guess, because the market has melted down a lot in the last 18 months, and especially in the last 2.5 months, it's been really, really difficult. So I think a lot of value has emerged in the markets, and prices. I wouldn't say they are very, very cheap, but they are very modest compared to what they were 2 years, 3 years back. So this AIF, what it primarily does is that it is an SME focused AIF. It's multi-cap in nature, but the main focus is on SMEs and microcaps. So roughly 50 to 75% exposure is into SMEs and micros. In SMEs and micros, we'll be investing in Devanshuji, if you can, open the presentation as well, so it will be easier for
Sure.
people to understand.
Just give me a moment.
Not a problem. So predominantly, we will be investing in SMEs and microcaps. Our
My screen
allocation
is visible,
will,
Mohit.
yeah, it's yes, it is visible. Can we move on to the slide number 3?
Sure.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we are trying to identify firms at a very nascent stage, at a very early stage of their listing, to catch maximum juice out of them in their high growth phase, in their nascent phase. Second, we will focus a lot on the quality of the business and the quality of the promoters. Are the businesses genuine? Are the promoters genuine? We'll focus on quality a lot. Third, obviously, it's a long-term play in Indian markets. As time has again, it has been shown that we can't, neither can we time the market, nor can we expect very good returns in every phase of markets. So ultimately, we will have to invest in a longer period horizon. So the time horizon what we have kept is 3 to 5 years. The next slide, Devanshu ji, please. So coming to the allocation, as on the left hand side of the screen, you can see it will be a combination of 25 to 30 stocks. These stocks will be curated, every single one of them, based on high conviction on business, its potential, the sector in which it represents, and the future prospects of the company and of the sector as a whole. These are some of the basic criteria of selecting a company. And going ahead with its analysis, we will obviously focus on the qualitative and quantitative parameters like their historic growth in revenue, operating profit, PAT, how their margins have moved, how is the book levered, who are the investors, existing investors, and at what prices, which funds are investing in the company if it's on the verge of IPO listing as an anchors or maybe as pre-IPOs. How does the future potential of the firm looks like? How are the ROE, ROC numbers? How are the valuations as far as its peers are concerned and its sectors are concerned? So see, these are some of the parameters. This is not an exhaustive list, but these are some of the parameters which we especially focus on. So the portfolio will be created with a lot of discipline. And as you can see that there are 25 to 30 stocks in the portfolio. So we are not dependent on one or two or five stocks, which will make it extremely high risk and high return strategy. So we are trying to diversify as well. And we are trying to create a balance between concentration and diversification. Concentration in the sense we are not buying 100 scripts. We are not replicating any index. So we are curating 25-30. At the same time, we are not limiting ourselves to maybe 2 to 5 to 10 companies. And next slide, please. Okay, so on the right, this is a slide on which we would like to spend a couple of minutes. So this is a multi-cap strategy, number one. At the same time, the focus of this strategy is on SMEs and microcaps. So roughly 50 to 75% exposure will be in SMEs and microcaps. And SMEs we can buy in three manner. One is the listed SMEs, which are currently listed and which we feel are have the potential to give us good returns over the next 2 to 3 years horizon. Second will be the new SMEs which are coming up. Since we are an AIF category 3, we are qualified as a institutional buyer. So as a QIB, we can participate both in listing as well as in anchor. So it is possible that we buy some stocks as anchor, we buy some stocks as QIB, non-anchor as well, for the purpose of selling or listing, and for the purpose of holding. So as an anchor, if we buy into something, the lock-in period will be 30 days and 90 days in SMEs. So we will have the bandwidth and the flexibility to participate both as a QIB for the purpose of IPO listing as well as anchor for long-term holding. We will evaluate each opportunity on the case by case basis. So this 50 to 75% bracket is what we are eyeing at to majorly deploy an investor's money. Balance 10 to 15% will be into mid caps and small caps. And going forward, we have thought that as a QIB, we can participate in the upcoming IPOs, which have the possibility of giving good listing premiums as well. So be it a large cap, mid cap, or small cap opportunity, if we find that opportunity worth from the point of view of listing gains also, we will take such calls and do some churning to get some additional alpha for you. And 5 to 10% we can allocate towards unlisted or pre-IPO. So our focus is not on unlisted and pre-IPO. We will be very clear with that. Our focus is not 5 to 10% on unlisted pre-IPO, but we have kept this bracket so that if we find really good opportunities, then maybe we will allocate some small part of your overall portfolio into this category. To the other nuances of the fund, it is an open-ended fund, so it's not a closed-ended fund. You can enter anytime, exit anytime in and out of the fund. There is no lock-in period, but there will be an exit load if you exit within first year of investments. Since it is an open-ended fund, you can top it up in future as well after giving the base amount of 1 CR towards the inception. Uh, Mostly, this slide captures the crux of the type of allocation we will do. Now, what will be our intention? So, since it will not be right to comment on the return potential of this strategy, but we feel that over a longer period of time, SMEs and microcaps have capability to generate higher returns than the broader market, comprising of mid caps and small caps. Because these firms are very small, they are having a very low base in terms of their revenues and profits. So if our stock selection is robust and if our stock selection is right, I would rather say 7 out of 10 times, then we might be able to come up with firms which can grow at 30-35% CAGR for at least next 2 to 3 years. So the kind of returns this strategy can give you will add a lot of flair to the overall returns of your portfolio. Number two, this space is slightly difficult to crack and decipher as an investor, because these companies, there is a lot of I mean like a lot of resources and tracking goes into tracking these companies, into talking to their promoters in a compliant manner after every 3 months, after every 6 months. There are less broker reports and very less coverage available on these stocks. At the same time, the risk of going wrong is also high. If you find yourself in a situation where you bought something based on a tip or FOMO. So hence there is a gap between a genuine research house and AMC who have the capability, resources, or the knowledge of SME space, and who can invest on your behalf and play in this upcoming, I would say, not upcoming, but faster growing SME and microcap market, right? So you need a professional house which have the capability to take decisions on your behalf, what to buy, what to sell, when to buy, when to sell, what kind of diversification, what kind of weightages. At the same time, we will have the team to track these sectors, these companies on an ongoing basis as well. So these are the things in which we find that there is genuine niche which we are offering, and it's slightly different to what most of the fund houses are doing as well. So it adds to the diversification checklist of an investor as well. And since the time horizon is at least 3 to 5 years, despite it being an open-ended fund, so I would expect you to invest thinking that this money has to be parked for at least 3 to 5 years for genuinely good returns and for capturing both bull and bear cycles, right? So that is it from my end, Devanshu ji. If we can go ahead to the next slides, they talk about the financial health. They talk about diversification, which I've explained already. That since we are investing into 25 to 30 companies, we will diversify obviously. Secondly, we are sector agnostic, so we will not be focusing. We are not binding ourselves to investing in particular sectors only. Wherever we feel alpha generating capabilities are there, or there are sectoral tailwinds, or the sectors are in a growth phase, we'll try to find companies there. We will also deploy bottom up approach. The companies which are giving genuinely higher profits based on good revenue growth, good order books, healthy businesses, we'll find out opportunities on that manner as well. Next, yes. So this pretty much sums up that the future small caps, many of them will come from SMEs. So and many small caps become ultimately mid caps and large caps, right? But most of the value accretion or the value addition happens when a company is very very small and the base of the revenue and PAT is very small, and the business has tremendous potential to grow in terms of their total addressable market. So from SME to micro to small cap, this is where maximum juices and maximum gain can be made. So this is the umbrella which we are trying to cover through this AIF category 3 fund. Over to you, Devanshuji. Most of the points I have covered about the basics of the AIF. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Just give me a moment. Yeah, so what's your view on the going on market? How somebody should deploy funds in your AIF? Because I think it's a category 3 AIF, so you are taking 1 CR in one go. So what is your say on that? How you are managing the cash flows out there?
Okay. So this question is particularly relevant after the US-Iran war. Otherwise,
Yes.
most of the negatives were already behind us. If we talk about February end, things were looking better from Indian perspective. The
Right.
recent war again has done some sort of a has created some sort of negative bias. But we feel that if we have patient capital, if we are not very finicky about 1 month, 3 month, 6 month horizon, then the current prices are mouth watering, especially in lot of stocks. I would not say that every stock is available very cheaply, no, but many good companies currently are trading at least 40 to 50% down from their 52-week high. So a lot of froth has gone, and there are genuine companies which uh, uh, fell as a result of collateral damage rather than their own fundamentals going haywire. So there
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of companies available at very decent valuations, but
Mm-hmm.
it will be a stock pickers market. When the market bounces back, whenever it happens, not all companies from the SME space or small cap are going to bounce back. There will be winners, there will be losers. So our job will be to identify and keep you invested in the companies which will genuinely grow their businesses, because markets over a period of time have become very smart, especially in the SME side. So
Yeah.
the kind of euphoria which was there in 2022 to 2024 cycle, that is behind us. People will all obviously have higher expectation from SME, but stock selection will be the key going forward. So I feel, and lastly, it's about asset allocation as well. So whatever big your portfolio is, the amount of investment which we can allocate towards SME and microcap space, that is something you can explore right now. So if I have 5 CR of portfolio and I'm willing to invest say 1.5 to 2 CR in SME microcap, right now is a very good time to invest 1 CR out of that 2 CR. So
Mm-hmm.
आपका जो भी पैसा अभी एसएमई माइक्रो के लिए आपने सोच रखा है, एटलीस्ट उसका 40-50% इन लेवल्स पे इन्वेस्ट करना कर सकते हैं.
Mm-hmm. तो इसमें कुछ और भी क्वेश्चन है इन्वेस्टर्स का कि आपके फंड में क्या डाउनसाइड एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं। दूसरा, फंड में और अभी आप मार्केट में क्या डाउनसाइड देख रहे हैं।
Okay, okay. So this is a high beta fund. Okay, so we can expect at least 1.25 to 1.5x of beta in this fund. तो जब मार्केट चलता है तो मार्केट का मार्केट से ज्यादा ये फंड चलने का एक्सपेक्टेशन रखना चाहिए, और मार्केट जब गिरता है, गिरना इन द सेंस क्रैश, नॉर्मल करेक्शन, रनिंग करेक्शन तो ठीक है, दे आर फाइन, बट जब मार्केट क्रैश होता है तो दीज कंपनीज ऑब्वियसली विल करेक्ट हायर. So you can expect 1.25 to 1.5x of beta, both in upside and downside. At the same time, it is important for you to know that in good times, these companies produce really good returns very, very fast. At the same time, when the downside comes, ये लोग lower circuits भी बहुत जल्दी देते हैं. So important thing is to not panic and sell when the market is red. It's important to stay patient for a longer period of time, क्योंकि कंपनीज में अगर अच्छी कंपनीज हैं, अगर अच्छे बिजनेसेस हैं, तो बाउंस बैक भी is a bit faster. Number one. Number two, about the markets. So I had an opinion कि मार्केट में बॉटम आ चुका है बिफोर द वॉर, क्योंकि फरवरी में थोड़ा सा चीजें मेरे को ठीक लगने लग गई थी इन टर्म्स ऑफ अर्निंग्स, क्योंकि अर्निंग्स डिसेंट आए थे, आउटस्टैंडिंग नहीं आए थे बट डिसेंट आए थे. सेकंड एफआईएस की बाइंग थोड़ी थोड़ी चालू हो गई थी वापस. थर्ड, वैल्यूएशंस ठीक हो गए थे. तो मेरा पर्सनल ओपिनियन यही था कि मार्केट्स, इंडिया के मार्केट्स बॉटम आउट कर जाते. एट द सेम टाइम अब जो प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन है इसमें इट्स एन इवॉल्विंग सिचुएशन. सो अभी बता पाना बहुत मुश्किल है कि हाउ मच डाउन साइड इज लेफ्ट. अभी सिर्फ ये जरूर दिख रहा है कि द प्राइजेस आर पैलेटेबल, एंड एक लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू के लिए यहाँ पे स्टार्ट करना अच्छा रहेगा. 2 से 3 साल बाद आज के खरीदे हुए भाव में बहुत अच्छे लगेंगे. बाकी फर्दर डाउन साइड कितना रहेगा अभी मार्केट में, दिस इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू से, क्योंकि सिचुएशन जियो पॉलिटिकल है और ये बहुत तेजी से बदलती रहती है.
या तो ये कैटेगरी 3 फंड है, तो इसमें आपने ऑफ कोर्स स्किन इन द गेम रखा होगा अपना। तो मैं जान सकता हूँ वो क्या कैपेसिटी में आपने स्किन इन द गेम रखा है, आपने कितना पैसा खुद का लगाया इस फंड में।
So 10 CR is our own money, and we are raising 100 CR for a beginning, and then we will obviously, since an open-ended fund, कि हम इसको बड़ा करते जाएंगे. इनिशियली हम लोग 10 करोड़ लगा रहे हैं आउट ऑफ द 100 करोड़ विच इज आवर फर्स्ट रेस.
और फंड का क्या साइज टारगेट कर रहे हो।
सो आई थिंक हम लोग 300 400 500 करोड़ तक भी जा सकते हैं ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इन दिस फंड. But we will keep evolving with time and we will keep reviewing if it makes sense to maybe pause infusions after a particular threshold क्योंकि हम लोग SMEs में हैं. So liquidity and opportunities को consider करके हम लोग उस पर कॉल ले सकते हैं. बट अभी के लिए there is a long runway to go.
ठीक है। दूसरा, आप ये लिक्विडिटी कैसे मैनेज करोगे, क्योंकि एंकर और क्यूआईबी आपको पता है इतना लिक्विड नहीं होता इमीडिएटली। तो अगर आपने ओपन एंडेड फंड बनाया है, तो अगर किसी को 1 साल के बाद, चलो 2 साल के बाद अगर बाहर आना है, तो आप उस समय में लिक्विडिटी कैसे मैनेज करोगे उसकी?
So we'll be keeping 5% cash, number one. Number two, we are not focusing on pre-IPO या unlisted space जहाँ पे पैसा लॉक हो जाता है. तो वी आर इन्वेस्टेड इन ओपन मार्केट सिक्योरिटीज लिस्टेड में एंड प्लस जो अपकमिंग आईपीओ है. तो आईपीओ के बाद तो एज ए क्यूआईबी बेच ही सकते हैं. एंड
हम्म।
एंकर में भी जो लॉक इन होता है एसएमईज में वो 30 डेज और 90 डेज का होता है. और
हम्म।
एआईएफ में जो भी रिडेम्पशन विंडो होता है वो भी 15-15 दिन का टाइम हमें मिलता है.
राइट।
तो सो हम लोगों के पास में काफी ज्यादा लिवर्स है टू मैनेज लिक्विडिटी एंड रिडेम्पशंस. प्लस वी आर बाइंग 25 to 30 कंपनीज. ओके. तो वी आर नॉट डिपेंडेंट टू कि अगर कोई लिक्विडिटी प्रेशर भी आया या रिडेम्पशन प्रेशर भी आया तो एक या दो कंपनी को ही बेच के पैसा निकालना है, वैसा सिचुएशन भी नहीं है. We are diversified between the companies, between market caps as QIB anchor and listed. So, and we are keeping some part of cash as well, 4 to 5% for immediate liquidity. And we will have 15 days of window as well. So, that is something which we will be able to manage. Secondly, we have also managed a PMS in SME Microcap space since last 4 years, which not many people have that kind of experience in the market. तो हमने ऑलरेडी एक स्ट्रैटेजी पीएमएस के थ्रू मैनेज करी हुई है. वी नो हाउ दिस मार्केट वर्क्स एंड आई थिंक लिक्विडिटी का उतना बड़ा चैलेंज नहीं आएगा. ऑब्वियसली इलिक्विड मार्केट है ये, दैट इज फॉर श्योर, बट दैट इज द थीम ऑफ द फंड एज वेल. हाई रिस्क हाई रिटर्न इन द एसएमई माइक्रो कैप.
तो अभी थैंक्स फॉर आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन। अभी लोगों का बहुत कंसर्न आ रहा है कि एसएमई में थोड़ा सा वोलेटिलिटी ज़्यादा है। मैं भी मानता हूँ वोलेटिलिटी बहुत ज़्यादा है। तो कैसे इन्वेस्टर्स को एसएमई में एक्सपोजर लेना चाहिए, थोड़ी सी अगर उस पर बताएंगे तो।
See, it's an excellent question, and I think now people are becoming extremely careful. एसएमई के नाम से या स्मॉल कैप के नाम से आप उतना ज्यादा भी फोकस मत दीजिए. अगर एसएमई है तो you think of it as owning a business. Now, if it is a small cap or if it is an SME, but it is growing at say 25-30%, you like the business is at a good stage of growth. Promoters are good. They have ambition to multiply their business. तो फिर वो एसएमई भी है तो क्या फर्क पड़ गया उससे. रेड फ्लैग्स वो होते हैं कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस का इशू है या कंपनी चीट है या बहुत हाइप क्रिएट हुई हुई है उसके बारे में बट वैसा बिजनेस नहीं है, तो उन कंपनीज में मत इन्वेस्ट करिए. एंड देर आर चांसेस ऑफ फेलियर एज वेल. हम भी कर सकते हैं फेल, बट 10 में से 7 या 8 कॉल ठीक निकालना जरूरी है इस बाजार में. एक दो तो आपकी तब भी खराब होंगी होंगी, नो मैटर हाउ
राइट।
मच ड्यू डिलिजेंस यू विल डू. बट उसको बहुत ज्यादा अगर माइंड में आप सिर्फ एसएमई आर वेरी इलिक्विड वेरी डिफिकल्ट करके करेंगे तो यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू कैप्चर द काइंड ऑफ रनवे दीज कंपनीज हैव, because they having market cap of 100 500 700,000 cr. Now
राइट।
think logically, if there is a 10,000 20,000 cr of company in a small cap mid cap space as well, does it in a normal situation has the potential to multiply our money 2x 5x 7x in 2 to 3 years? It's very difficult. कर सकती है, ऐसा नहीं है नहीं कर सकती, बट बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. पर
हाँ।
अगर 200-300 करोड़ की मार्केट कैप की कंपनी जो साल का 50 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू कर रही है बट वो बहुत अच्छा कुछ करने जा रही है या एकदम से वो लाइमलाइट में, तो डबल ट्रिपल बिल्कुल कर सकती है. बेस इतना छोटा है
राइट।
तो पैसा यहाँ
राइट।
ज्यादा बनेगा. तो उस
राइट।
पॉइंट से भी देखिए, रिस्क पॉइंट से भी देखिए, एंड कहीं ना कहीं बैलेंस करके एक
सो
डाइवर्सिफाइड.
बेसिकली आप बोल रहे हो रिस्क ले रहे हो तो रिवॉर्ड तो है।
डेफिनेटली बिल्कुल है. बिल्कुल है. प्रोवाइडेड हमारा स्टॉक सिलेक्शन अच्छा रहे, एंट्री और एग्जिट्स स्मूथ रहे और आपका लॉन्ग टाइम फ्रेम रहे. आप इसको इस तरह से जज ना करें कि मार्केट टूट गई है बहुत ज्यादा टूट गई. वो तो हमें पहले से पता है. वी आर अवेयर, मेकिंग यू अवेयर एज वेल.
बहुत इन्वेस्टर्स का मेरे को क्वेश्चन आता है ये मोहित जी की, क्यों मेन बोर्ड में इन्वेस्ट ना करे, क्यों एसएमई में इन्वेस्ट करे। तो उस पर भी अगर आप थोड़ी सी लाइट्स दे पाएंगे, थोड़ा सा उस पर बता पाएंगे कि जिन जिन इन्वेस्टर्स की कैपेसिटी है एसएमई खरीदने की, बट वो भी सोचते हैं कि हम मेन बोर्ड में पैसा क्यों ना लगाएं, एसएमई में क्यों पैसा लगाएं। मुझे तो लगता है कि मेन बोर्ड थोड़ा सा ओवर रेटेड हो गया है और पोर्टफोलियो में बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपोजर है, तो थोड़ा एक्सपोजर एसएमई भी लेना चाहिए, बट टेक्निकली आप कुछ बता पाएंगे तो दैट वुड बी अ ग्रेट हेल्प.
So if you see 3 to 5 year of CAGR, a small cap, mid cap will have higher CAGR than a large cap, and SME will have higher CAGR than a small cap. So it's a high risk, high return sort of a philosophy. Number one. Number two, it's about asset allocation. मार्केट का कोई भी सेगमेंट खराब नहीं है. सो आपका कुछ पैसा लार्ज कैप, कुछ मिड, कुछ स्मॉल, मल्टी कैप बोल लीजिए उसको, और कुछ पैसा एसएमई माइक्रो इसमें रह सकता है. सो आप देखो अभी इन द लास्ट 1.5 years इक्विटीज हैवंट परफॉर्म, बट गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर हैव परफॉर्म वेरी वेरी वेल. सो अब क्या गोल्ड और सिल्वर अच्छे हैं या इक्विटी अच्छे हैं? सो इट्स नॉट दैट एक चीज अच्छी है तो दूसरे को नेसेसरीली बुरा होना जरूरी है. आप मल्टी कैप में भी डालिए, लार्ज मिड स्मॉल में, आप एक सिग्निफिकेंट एलोकेशन एसएमई माइक्रो में भी डालिए. इफ यू एस्पायर टू ग्रो फास्टर देन द मार्केट, योर एस्पिरेशन शुड बी हायर. नंबर वन. अगर आपको इंडेक्स बराबर रिटर्न्स ही चाहिए या उससे आप खुश है या आपको ठीक लगता है वो अपने कैपेसिटी के हिसाब से, देन डोंट गो फॉर एसएमईज. क्लियर. But if you feel I have got a substantial corpus and I can take this X percentage into SME microcap with a 3 to 5 year horizon, and I aspire to earn a bit more than the broader markets, then SME space obviously provides you that kind of tool bandwidth to outperform the market by a long shot. Right? So it's about asset allocation. Devanshu
Right,
ji,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
So makes sense. I think I am done with my question. If anybody has any question, they can write it on our chat window. We can answer those questions, or else we will close this session in 2 minutes. We'll wait for 2 minutes, Mohit.
Surely.
We'll see.
If I may add a few lines, if you don't have more questions, then
Yeah, yeah, sure.
then I think to summarize this strategy, ये strategy aim ही इसका ये है कि हम लोग मार्केट के फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग सेगमेंट में प्रोफेशनली मैनेज करी हुई स्ट्रेटेजी के थ्रू इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए पैसा कमा सके. हम लोग अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटीज को एक नेसेंट या यंग स्टेज पे आइडेंटिफाई कर सके, सो दैट योर वेल्थ कैन मल्टीप्लाई ओवर अ लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. एट द सेम टाइम इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम आर एंड टू टेल यू द रिस्क की ये लिक्विडिटी या जो हाई वॉलेटिलिटी का सेगमेंट है ये मार्केट का, एंड यू आर अवेयर ऑफ दैट. सो डोंट एक्सपेक्ट द मार्केट्स एंड दिस स्ट्रेटेजी टू मूव हैंड इन ग्लव, क्योंकि ये हाई बीटा स्ट्रेटेजी है. एट द सेम टाइम फ्रॉम आवर एक्सपीरियंस इन दिस फील्ड वी डू हैव जेन्युइन होप कि अभी इंडिया का जिस हिसाब से ग्रोथ फेज रहेगा, इट विल बी लंपी, ऑब्वियसली इट विल नॉट बी लीनियर, बट जो छोटी कंपनीज हैं, जो अच्छी कंपनीज हैं, जिनमें बड़ा बनने का पोटेंशियल है, जिनका टोटल एड्रेसेबल मार्केट ज्यादा है, वहां पे देर इज अ हाई प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ योर मनी गेटिंग मल्टीप्लाइड ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम रादर देन ग्रोइंग एट 12% CAGR, which is not what we are targeting. So this strategy is for those who aspire for high returns through a professionally
Makes
managed
sense.
fund. Yeah, and we have got a good name in this field. We have got good experience in this field, and
Makes sense.
good credentials to go ahead with us as well.
Makes sense.
Right? We'll focus on genuinely good companies only.
Yeah, makes sense. So thanks everyone for joining on this call. Thank you, Mohitji, for accepting our request for this webinar. We will host more webinar with Mohitji coming in future, where we will keep more Q&A rounds. So today was an introduction webinar for Mohitji. So again, we will get Mohitji on call. So for by that time, thank you everyone for joining in. If you have more queries, you can reach out to our experts at www.altportfunds.com, or you can email us at devanshu@altportfunds.com. Thank you everyone. Have a lovely day ahead. Bye.
Thank you so much, Devanshu ji. Thank you everybody for joining. Lovely.